with me, I come back 10 times as hard. So now, like I said, I'm about to take the time to just rub it in, just, what I'm saying, pour salt on the wounds, like, pour salt on the wounds, or pour, lemon juice, like when you get cut. Because, if you pour lemon juice, on the wounds and stuff, it open the wounds up. So, so, I'm just having fun because the Lomachenko fans have been on my page, trolling and crying and trying to dismiss anything Devin Haney did. You know, Tank's team said it best. Lomachenko fought in Spurs. He tried to do that Sugar Ray Leonard stuff, what Sugar Ray Leonard did when he fought Marvin Hagler many moons ago, where basically Sugar Ray Leonard tried to rally towards the end of the round. And then, like I said, once again, I watched this fight again. If you look at the end of the round, Devin Haney was securing those rounds. Lomachenko was trying to pick his spots. Now, I listened to what Sean from Fight Hype had to say, and Sean, that's my man's. That's the homie. Sean is a good dude. Like I said, when I first got into, covering fights, Sean helped me. Sean, Ellie Setback, the goofball, the midget. So, it was some people that helped me, and I appreciate they help, you know, they didn't have to do that. So, I want to give props to Sean from, Fight Hype. Shout out to Danny from the boxing voice. Danny kind of helped me too. So everybody help, get your boy prepped for doing this kind of stuff. And as you can see, they all of different ethnicities, you know. Danny from the boxing boys, he's Spanish. Sean is white. The midget, he's, I ain't gonna call him a brother. I don't know what he is. But, I give everybody their props. But nevertheless, covering this fight, I will say this much. This is one of the most intriguing fights that I covered. I feel like I said, out of all the fights I've covered, I feel like this weekend, I think I really reached the pinnacle where I needed to be because my name is out there, which I really regret seeing my government name. That's why I had to edit that video, because I accidentally said my government name. I was too caught up in the moment. I went to Ron Burgundy, but at the end of the day, I felt it was a good weekend. I got some real good interviews. Wish I could have got Bud. Wish I could have got Shakur Stevenson. But you guys know Shakur's been on here before. Bud has been on here before. I'll catch Shakur Stevenson. I'm pretty sure Shakur will be in New York. So, I'll try to catch Shakur, get some intel from him, and I just want to say this much. Be cool with Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, he trying to, sell the fight. He trying to promote a fight. By him saying Lomachenko won, let's not make it a tribalism thing. Let's not make it look like Shakur Stevenson is being a sellout and all that kind of stuff. Nah, that's not it. He's just trying to sell. He's just trying to sell the fight. He's not being a sellout. He's trying to sell a potential fight. At the end of the day, do you want it to be? Yeah, I'll fight him. Next thing you know, it's a press conference and all that kind of stuff. You want to get amped up for a possible fight. That's why he told him, you number one for now. So, chill, coming down on Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur, he watching my videos. Shakur give me a lot of access, and, Shakur will get at you. So at the end of the day, I like Shakur. I like his lovely fiance, Young Lyric. Once again, she gave me a real good interview, real talented rapper. But just, I wanted to say that. So, let's begin. But like I said before, I really am having fun with this stuff, making fun of the Lomachenko fans because they big mad. Like I said, at the end of the day, the town prevailed. We got the W, the town prevailed. And I'm just, I'm just ecstatic for Bill. I'm ecstatic for Devin. It was a tough fight. At the end of the day, what more do you want? like I said, a lot of you finicky boxing fans, you can't have it both ways. You would have been crying. You would have made every. You guys were prepared not to give Devin Haney props no matter what. If he would have uh, had a one-sided victory versus Lomachenko, which would have been a one-sided victory, and he would have dominated Lomachenko, you would have said, "Oh, Lomachenko was old. Lomachenko was past the prime." But he fights a gritty fight, guts it out, wins a decision. Then all of a sudden, oh, he got exposed. Come on, man. Well, Lomachenko Ben got exposed. Lomachenko got exposed by Teofimo Lopez. And Lomachenko, his face, look at his face. For a dude that y'all make it look like didn't take any kind of punishment, well, uh, this picture says it all. And this just goes to show you what I've been saying about how Devin Haney wasn't getting any credit for his work. And for you idiots that's coming on here saying body punching don't mean anything, you're an idiot and you're a fanboy and you're a goofy. And like I said before, I love the fact that white Jesus got touched up by, you know what I'm saying, Devin Haney, you know, Alegum Salah, you know, Assalamu alaikum. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video, and I'm gonna talk about why Bill and Devin Haney gets all the hate that they get. It's oh yeah, yeah, Teamsters, yeah, that's me. Yeah. So, as I said before, I enjoyed what happened. I enjoyed Devin gutting it out, and like I said, this is gonna make Devin. This is gonna make Devin even better. I think this is gonna make Devin an even better fighter. Listen, at the end of the day, do I think Devin Haney is gonna finish his career undefeated? Probably not. Eventually, he will lose a fight or two, but at the end of the day, he gonna win some big fights as well. And I think that's what I think is hurting boxing, because at the end of the day, we can't get some of the best guys to fight each other. Let's just say he does fight Tank and he loses to Tank. Ain't no harm in that. Let's just say he fights Shakur Stevenson and he loses to Shakur Stevenson. Ain't no harm in that. But what happens if he beats Tank? What happens if he beats Shakur Stevenson? That doesn't take anything away from none of those guys, because at the end of the day, boxing, like I said, is just as much mental as it is physical. You have to have a game plan. Devin Haney had a good game plan for Lomachenko. He took the early rounds. All this stuff about, okay, well, he got hurt. Well, even if he did get hurt, Lomachenko couldn't finish the job. Because to me, I saw almost the same exact fight that I saw with Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. Now, Lomachenko did do more than he did with Devin than he did against Teofimo Lopez. He did absolutely damn near nothing versus Teofimo Lopez. And his new name should be Runachenko. Cause I'm keeping it a buck. Let's really, like I said, we should call him Runachenko, because at the end of the day, he was doing a lot of backing up. And he was running. He was doing, or he was boxing, because guys like Lomachenko, they're boxers. When Devin Haney do it, or somebody like Floyd Mayweather do it, it's called running. And like I said, Devin was pressing a lot of the action, and Devin was standing his ground. Devin was willing to go blow for blow with Lomachenko. Now, at times, Lomachenko would try to walk Devin Haney down, and that's because sometimes Devin Haney gave up real estate sometimes, because he was trying to set some traps for Lomachenko. But at the end of the day, Lomachenko was just as hesitant to try to fight Devin off the ropes. And Devin did a great job of, even when Lomachenko was trying to walk him down, he was able to counter Lomachenko with shots and get out the way. The only mistake I think Devin Haney made, in which Lomachenko complained to Harvey Dock about it, I do think Devin Haney should have, even though the referee was kind of hinting that he was willing to take points, which that would have cost Devin Haney probably the fight, or would it cost him, at least a draw. Devin Haney, the mistake that he made is he should have stood his ground and plant his feet and set his feet, because when Lomachenko was trying to turn Devin Haney, and I told you Lomachenko was good at shifting. Lomachenko ain't the best defensive fighter in the world. Lomachenko's defense is like when you hit him backing up and trying to move around and shift and reset and come back in. Lomachenko ain't what you would call a dude that like throws the high guard and he tries to shoulder roll, or he tries to tuck his tuck his body and turn and slip. He backs up and comes back in. And I said this, and Mickey Bay, he agreed with me. I almost said Mickey Ward, but anyway, Mickey Bay, he agreed with me. All Devin had to do, I ain't gonna say all, but there was opportunities where Devin could have possibly landed the same exact punch that put Manny Pacquiao's lights out on Lomachenko. When Lomachenko tried to turn him, what he should have did, because Lomachenko is a southpaw, Devin should have turned. Devin should have went to the opposite direction, and then he should have threw an overhand right. He would have hit Lomachenko flush. And he would have probably ended that fight, because those short hooks and counter hooks Devin was landing was bothering Lomachenko. Lomachenko got touched up in that fight, and he didn't get credit for it. Lomachenko looked at like a peppermint stick. His body had so much red on it. I don't want to. Appreciate that. I that ain't really my place. I'm not gonna say whether Devin Haney should, get a new coach or all that kind of stuff, because that's just not really my place. At the end of the day, he's happy with Bill. Bill made him a undisputed champion, and still, I'm gonna say this again, and still, I'm gonna say this one more time, and still undefeated, undisputed lightweight champion, Devin the Dream Haney. And first of all, I love that intro when he said, fighting out of Las Vegas, representing his hometown of Oakland, California. The town went crazy. Like I said, the town went crazy. And for him to show that love to his roots, to his grassroots, where it all started, because at the end of the day, it's really sad out here, unfortunately, because what's going on with the city of Oakland, how we're about to lose our final, professional sports team. So for him to, send that shout out, that meant a lot to the people in the Bay, and that meant a lot to people in Oakland, California. And Devin was letting people know he ain't forgot where it started. So that was big of him to say that. And that's why the town was riding with Devin. We was riding with Devin till the wheels fall off. And, as far as Bill go, Bill is, like I say, Bill from the town. I'm not, I'm going to call him East Oakland Bill. That's real talk. I'm not calling them no Trio Bill. And I ain't disrespecting nobody. But at the end of the day, Bill's roots is in California. It started in California. I'm going to call him East Oakland Bill, or Bill from the town. And that's just real talk. And if somebody feeling some kind of way about that, thinking I'm dissing them, that's their problem. But I'm just keeping it buck. I ain't dissing nobody. Like I said, I'm my own entity, and I represent the Bay Area. So, I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just keeping it a buck. So, like I said, I was proud of what I saw. And I thought Devin fought a real gritty fight. And I'm just seeing over the past couple of days how people are just trying to discredit him, and this anger and seeing this hatred. Listen, when I heard Timothy Bradley got death threats because he beat Manny Pacquiao, or saying he should take his own life, that's just absurd. And like I said, another thing that I have an issue with is I'm really upset and pissed about people throwing an object at Bill Haney. There's no, and I'm gonna say this again, there is no excuse to throw a water bottle at somebody or object at somebody. That's just insanity. That's just insanity. And in all likelihood, the person probably was one of those Lomachenko fans. So in other words, they were white. Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was disgusting. No, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, Devin Haney took. I said that in other videos. I said Devin, he had it. Lomachenko did some damage to him, but the problem that I have, they making it look like Devin Haney did absolutely nothing. Nobody said that Lomachenko didn't land no shots. Lomachenko did land some shots. But Lomachenko, every once in a while, listen, if I'm judging a fight, I'm not judging a fight because somebody every once in a while may land a hard jab and push somebody's face back a little bit. Because at the same time, if somebody landing a short hook, Lomachenko got shook up a couple of times, and Lomachenko was backing up, getting hit with them body shots. Everything should come into account when you judging a fight. Everything should come into account when you scoring a fight. But as far as the water bottle go, that's just like I said, that's insanity. And I noticed they only primarily only do that to brothers. I remember when they did that to um Jamal Charlo when when he got the stoppage in LA over J Rock, when he fought at the home arena, the USC Trojans, and he got the stoppage, and they was throwing, water bottles at him. Man, you just can't be doing that kind of stuff, man. That's just not cool, man. That's just uncalled for. That's just unacceptable. There ain't no reason for you to throw stuff at people. There ain't no reason for you to try to fight somebody, at the end of the day, because your guy didn't win. But yeah, I never said Devin came out of there unscathed, but because that's the whole problem. They making it look like Devin Haney just got, beat the fuck up. Because that's not the case, because he was touching Lomachenko up. And Lomachenko's face indicates that he got touched up. And I'm going to tell you something else. Listen, at the end of the day, depending on what the situation is and what the talking point is, how we try to use CompuBox to determine, well, who threw more, who landed more. Listen, they have somebody sitting up there like punching a button, and then he can pick and choose what he want to count as a punch. Because I know there was one round where they said Devin Haney only landed 2 punches. No, that wasn't likely, because I've seen fights where they say, oh, well, dude landed like 11 punches, and it made and you be like, he landed 11 punches. Look like to me he landed at least like 15 punches, or maybe even 20 punches. So CompuBox is buyer beware. It all depends on what type of point that you trying to make. It just really come down to what type of point you trying to make when you having a discussion or a debate about whatever the subject is. So I'm not one of them dudes that always, uh, you know, say that should determine a winner because, oh, well, so and so threw more punches. It's like, okay, it's like the NBA. when people try to make this argument that, oh, well, you can't sit up there and say, oh, that the referees were cheating for this team versus that team, because actually, if you look at the stats, well, this team actually got more foul calls than the other one. Well, you got to remember something. It's all about momentum. It's about when you call that foul. You know, say for instance, the team is down by 3, and all of a sudden the dude, in basketball, and the team is down by 3, and basically the referee calls a 4 point play. Well, guess what? You make the 3 pointer, or you make 3 shots. You didn't tie the game. If he doesn't call it and you miss the shot, or you make the shot, well, the game is tied. But if you make the shot and you get the extra free throw, then you up by 1. So it's all about when you call the fouls. Because technically they said Sean Porter landed more punches than Keith Thurman when they fought. And I clearly had Keith Thurman beating Sean Porter when they fought. I clearly thought that Keith Thurman won that fight. So it doesn't matter about how many punches get thrown or how many punches is landed. It's when you land those punches, how you land those punches. At the end of the day, Devin Haney did a lot of good work the first half of the fight. And like I said before, like 7A said, Lomachenko and them just be crying and whining too much. I promise you, if it was the other way around and Devin Haney would have said, hey, I thought I won the fight, people would say, hey, Devin Haney, you need to accept your loss and move on. Because like I said, with us, they tell us to accept anything. And that's the mentality that they have towards black people as a whole. Just accept whatever. And no, we don't have to accept whatever. So that's basically the point that I'm trying to make. Well, listen, Anthony. Me and you already know to play with this. Well, like I said, if Devin Haney don't have no punching power, well, how come Lomachenko wasn't willing to trade with him? And I keep telling you, Devin Haney, he missed a couple of opportunities to end that fight. And it was funny, something that George Kambosos Jr. father told me, and something Mickey Bay said. George Kambosos Jr. said that they're going to watch this tape, and they saying that if they get the shot versus Lomachenko, they say they see some things that they going to capitalize off. And like I said, George Kambosos Jr., he got a better style. I think if he fights Lomachenko, styles make fights. I think it'll be a more like action-packed fight if he fights George Kambosos Jr. And I see some things that George Kambosos Jr. can exploit with Lomachenko. Like I say, styles make fights. And that's what it really come down to. You can't always use, basically the triangle theory when it comes to fights, because that can backfire on you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh man, Lil Boosie, he need to sit down, man. I was gonna say something real mean about Lil Boosie, but I'm gonna be cool. And as far as Nelly goes, saying that he done with boxing, well, we've been done with Nelly's music for almost 15 years. We've been done with Nelly as an actor, because Nelly, the only thing he has been on is The Real Husbands of Hollywood. That's the best he can do as an actor. So enough said with Nelly. Like I said, at the end of the day, it was fake grandstanding and it was flat out coonery. Where are these niggas at when the brothers get robbed? Where these dudes had like I said, it was fake grandstanding. But at the end of the day, I ain't never really been no Lil Boosie fan. I ain't never liked his music. I just ain't never liked the dude. So I'm just keeping it a buck. And like I said, Lil Boosie, let me say this about Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie is one of the biggest hypocrites I ever seen in my life. I'm gonna say this about Lil Boosie, and then I'm gonna move on and get back to talking about boxing. Like I said, Nelly ain't really nothing to talk about with Nelly because, like I said, what has he done that's been relevant except be on a fake reality show with Kevin Hart? And like I said, he ain't made relevant music in like over 15 years. For real. So enough said. He sitting up saying he done with boxing. Well, like I said, we've been done with his music and him as a whole for over over 15 years. Now, Lil Boosie is one of the biggest hypocrites I ever seen. This dude sitting up here trying to accuse T.I. of snitching and all this kind of stuff, but yet this dude loves to talk to a well-known documented informant in DJ Vlad, who it's been proven now that his videos have been used in court cases to indict people. A claim that Vlad has denied on multiple occasions. So Lil Boosie calling somebody a rat, but then he working with a rat. He working with an informant. He working with a popo. So Lil Boosie need to sit his ass down. He got the correct name, Bootsy, because he bootsy as hell. So there you have it. Boom. And you can send this segment to Lil Boosie. So there you have it. That's enough. That's enough ether for Lil Boosie. Like I said, Lil Boosie needs to quit talking because he embarrassing himself. Stop talking about the code of the streets and talking about people being a snitch when you always sitting up there talking to DJ Vlad, a known informant. Wait, excuse me? What did you say? So you robbed the bank. Wait, how many? What, how, wait, hold on. Wait, what did you say? So it was for you guys? Oh, so you ran up. So you said you pulled out your weapon. Wait, you fired how many shots? Okay. Yeah, shut up, man. Tell Lil Boosie to shut up. Yo, yeah, and I loved every minute of it. So, no, but I just had to say that about Lil Boosie. Like I said, Lil Boosie was fake grandstanding. Hey man, stop that stuff. You make sure you do that. Make sure you tweet when one of the brothers get robbed in a fight, and eventually that's gonna happen because they gonna have to even it out. Like I said before, I just want him to have that same energy when a brother get robbed. But it wasn't no robbery. It was a close competitive fight. Like I said, I had Devin Haney winning the fight. Like I said before, I haven't came at anybody that said, okay, well, if you think Lomachenko edged it out, okay, that's fine. But to sit up there and say it was a robbery, nah, that's not accurate. And even if you try to say, well, maybe it should have been a draw. Okay, well, maybe a draw. Okay, well, fine. Then that means Devin Haney still should be undisputed champion, right? Now, Stephen A. Smith, he said something stupid, but I know what he was trying to say. He said that he thought Devin Haney barely won the fight. Okay, fine. But if I'm not mistaken, the judges scored that fight. Two of the judges scored that fight. He won a unanimous decision. Okay, he won on two of the scorecards. One, if I'm 115, 113. So that mean he probably won on two cards. He won seven rounds, and Lomachenko won 5. Okay. But one dude tried to say, 116, 112, saying 8 rounds to 4. That was atrocious, or that was being generous. Okay. In that fight, the same way people trying to justify saying that Lomachenko won the fight, I want somebody to explain to me, name or point out 7 to 8 rounds, you thought Lomachenko won in that fight. And good luck trying to see. Your only argument is you could say Lomachenko won 10 and 11. Okay, we'll give him that. We'll give him that. But he basically gave away 12, and he admitted that he gave away 12. I want somebody to sit up here with a, I mean, for real, with a straight face and tell me that you can point out that Lomachenko won at least 7 rounds in that fight. Because you can't. Winning 2 clear rounds versus winning 2 clear rounds out of the remaining 10, where they were swing rounds and could have went either way. Sorry, that doesn't get you to victory. Had he dropped Devin Haney, fine. But you can't sit up here with a straight face and tell me that Lomachenko clearly won at least 7 to 8 rounds. And I'm laughing at people trying to lie and say that Lomachenko won at least 8 rounds. I will tell you to your face, you are a damn lie. You a damn lie. These people are banking the decision off him having 2 good rounds. Didn't that same situation happen with Teofimo Lopez? And I remember people was trying to say he beat Teofimo Lopez. Stop it. Or that fight should have been a draw. It looked like as if, I think, like when he fought Teofimo, out of the first 6 rounds, he won at least out of the first 7 rounds, maybe he won 6. So Lomachenko rallied. I think Lomachenko won like 3 straight rounds. And then there was one round where he hurt Teofimo, and it looked as if he was about to possibly stop Teofimo. I think it was either in the 8th or the 9th round. It might have been the 9th round or maybe the 10th. Okay, well, Teofimo, he made adjustments. So Teofimo, he stopped being relaxed, and he went in there, he was aggressive, and then he secured the 11th and 12th round. And that won him the fight. I had Teofimo winning that fight by a wide margin. I had Teofimo winning that fight like 8 rounds to 4. And you might can make an argument 9 to 3. And that's what he tried to do he did this with the Jermaine Ortiz fight. Same thing with Jermaine Ortiz. He took a big lead. Jermaine Ortiz took the first half of the fight. And I thought Jermaine Ortiz got 1 round in, which to me would have gave him the nod, because I had Jermaine Ortiz actually edging Lomachenko 7 rounds to 5. But once again, they gave it to Lomachenko because Lomachenko finished real strong the last quarter of the fight. So you've seen this pattern with him before. Now, the funny thing is him doing this in 3 fights where he's basically, trying to turn it on like the last quarter of the fight versus Ortiz, Lopez, and then Devin Haney. So out of those 3 fights, he lost 2 of them. So what am I missing here? What am I missing here? Now he did dominate Richard Comey. Okay, fine. He did that. He got away with that. He dominated Richard Comey, but at the end of the day, Richard Comey is a good, I'll say, B+ fighter. Okay. So it was expected of him to do that. And at the end of the day, he couldn't even stop him. So that's what Lomachenko does. He was fighting his spurs. And I'm sorry, I don't go by somebody that may fight uh 30 seconds out of a 3 minute round. And then because he may get a couple of ooh ah and oh, that's to secure him the round. Nah, sorry, I didn't see it that way. And that's what people are doing. They was trying to like glamorize every once in a while. Lomachenko landing a nice shot. He did, but he fought in spurs. He was not dominating those rounds. Devin Haney had a consistent attack, body shots, counters. Even when Lomachenko would hit Devin Haney with a 1-2, Devin Haney would come back with a shot. He'd come back with a hard shot, with a hook, and then an uppercut. So at the same time, when Lomachenko was landing two good shots or land a hard shot, Devin Haney would land a good hard shot or two. So that's what I mean by the rounds could have went either way. But like I said, the dude that's pressing the action, Devin Haney was going forward for most of the fight, pressing the action. And he was very aggressive in that fight. So like I said, the champ is supposed to always get the benefit of the doubt. So you can't sit up here and justify a W for Vasyl Lomachenko for basically having two good rounds versus having 10 other questionable rounds or swing rounds or either or whatever you want to call it. A lot of you dudes don't be knowing what you're talking about, but that's the problem. This is fanboyism that you seen. And then you seen them they were clearly rooting for Lomachenko to win the fight. That's obvious. Well, I'm glad you checked them because I'm pretty sure somebody gonna come talking to me and I'm gonna break it down and try to explain. I gave you guys the most simple explanation. How many times have you heard in a fight where the champ get the benefit of the doubt? You have to take it from the champ. And then Lomachenko, I want y'all to look at my post-fight interview with Lomachenko. Lomachenko gave me my just due. He said, "Hey, that's a good question." Lomachenko even admitted that he should have tried to be more aggressive. He basically said that he should have tried to go for the knockout early. And even he said there were some things that he could have did that could have secured him. I wanted Lomachenko to admit that he should have tried to be more aggressive instead of trying to counter Devin Haney and then basically trying to fight in spurs. That's what caused him the fight. You know you the challenger. You got to go in there and take it. Had he dropped Devin Haney multiple times in the fight, yeah, we ain't even having this conversation. I say Devin Haney lost the fight. He blew the fight. It is what it is. I would have, even if, I'll say this much, if Lomachenko would have dropped Devin Haney in the 10th or the 9th round and he ended up getting the nod, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have said, okay, well, him getting knocked down, what's the difference in the fight? I wouldn't have said nothing. But Devin Haney didn't get knocked down. And like I said, what make you a great champion is, you know what I'm saying, fighting through adversity and making adjustments. And that's what he did. Don't you guys want competitive fights? What was so intriguing about Manny Pacquiao and Marquez? They were competitive back and forth fights. But at the end of the day, I felt that Marquez did enough to beat Manny Pacquiao 3 times. That first fight, him getting dropped 3 times in the first round cost him that fight on the judges' scorecards. But the funny thing was, what made it so funny, Marquez, after round 1, you can make an argument Marquez won like 8 rounds in a row. That's just real talk. You can make an argument that Marquez won 8 rounds in a row when he fought Manny Pacquiao in the first fight. He got up off the campus, and it's a good thing they didn't have a 3 knockdown rule because he would have lost that fight. He got up and won like 8 rounds straight, but he didn't get the nod. I thought he won all 3 fights. Second fight, like if you really look at the first Manny Pacquiao fight, Marquez for the most part he was dominating Manny Pacquiao after the first round. Hit Manny Pacquiao with great uppercuts, great counters, great combinations, and Manny was really bothered by that. Now Manny Pacquiao, yeah, he shouldn't have won. He shouldn't have won that fight. He shouldn't have won. He shouldn't have won the second. He shouldn't have got the nod in the first fight. Oh, he shouldn't have gotten. I think the first fight was a draw. Well, I think the first fight was a draw or something like that. Then the second fight they gave it to Manny Pacquiao. Narrow mark. Third fight gave it to Manny Pacquiao. And then the fourth fight he got his lights put out. But Marquez won that fight. He won all of the fights. The first one, the second one, and the third one. So that's what I'm saying. He tried. That's what I'm saying. But you don't hear people complaining about those fights. But they making it look like they were competitive fights. They were competitive fights, and that's what we saw on Saturday. It was a competitive, strategic fight, and to me, the right guy won, and I stand on that. But for these people sitting up here saying that, you know, Devin Haney didn't do nothing. Look at white Jesus' face. Devin Haney was blessing. He was blessing, you know, white Jesus like pretty much all night. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you that Lomachenko was pissing out blood. And then they asked Lomachenko, well, do you want a rematch? And I could have sworn in the press conference, Lomachenko said, oh, we know we're not going to get a rematch. Listen, what I think Devin Haney should do, me personally, I think Devin Haney should go up to 140. And it's no disrespect to Bill, it's no disrespect to Devin, but my own personal opinion. And I'll tell Bill when he calls me, because I know Bill is eventually gonna call me. I told Bill after this fight to go up to 140. At the end of the day, don't stick around. Don't stick around waiting for Tank. If Tank really wants to smoke, Tank will move up to 140. At the end of the day, you still undisputed. Move up to 140. And Devin is hinted in the press conference. Devin said that his next fight may be at 140 to see how he feel. He may take a fight at 140 to see how he feels. And if he feels good at 140, then who knows? He may just relinquish the belts. He may just basically give up the belts. And then it can all get sorted out through the sanctioning bodies. That's my strongest advice. Move up to 140. There, like I said before, there's danger in every division. I said, see what happens with the 2 fights that I would advise, and I'm just saying, as of right now, the 2 fights I would advise Devin Haney not to take if he was going to go up to 140. I would tell him, don't fight Josh Taylor right now, because that would be a very difficult fight. And once again, styles make fight. I would advise him not to fight Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, despite his outing with Jack Catterall, I just would advise them not to go into a fight like that as of right now. That would be one of them. That would be like your 3rd or 4th fight down the line. And that depends on what happens with Josh Taylor. I would advise him not to fight Regis. Those are 2 people I would advise him not to fight like right away. We all know what Regis can do. Not saying he can't beat those dudes, but at the end of the day, you know, You got to get accustomed to that 140. And I'm just being honest. I'm not hating on them. At the end of the day, there are certain fights you need to not take right away. Josh Taylor would be a very difficult fight for Devin Haney at 140, and Regis Prograis would be a very difficult fight. So I would tell them, if they ask me, if they say, what do you think? I'll say, not right now. I would say Josh Taylor, not right now. Regis Prograis, not right now. Jose Ramirez, I would explore Jose Ramirez. Teofimo Lopez, I would explore Teofimo Lopez. Jack Catterall, I would consider that. Sandor Martin, I would consider all those fights for Devin Haney. Those are all winnable fights for Devin Haney. And they would be good victories for him as well. They're not going to be what you would call, they're not going to be cakewalks, but they would be winnable fights. So that's just basically me, but I'm not the manager. And for the people that's asking me what happened with church, I don't know anything. I haven't asked Bill about church. I don't know anything. That's one of them questions, or one of those situations. If Bill wishes to tell me why church wasn't present, that's up to Bill. But anyway, just want to say I really appreciate you guys tapping in. Like I said, we can all have conversations, and we can have basically respectable conversations about the fight. Like I said, if you thought Devin Haney lost the fight, I'm okay with that. But if you calling it a robbery, real talk, that's just not accurate. I had it set. I stand by what I said after watching the fight twice. I had it 7-5 in favor of Devin Haney. So there you have it. Appreciate it, you guys. It's your boy Town. I'm out.